welcome. So today I've decided that we are going to do a makeup tutorial thing. It's not really a tutorial, I'm just going to kind of play around in makeup and we'll see what happens. So originally for this video I was going to wear a certain shirt. I'm no longer wearing that shirt, but we're still going to do the same look because it's a really cool look. It's really fun to do, and it's very colorful and very pretty. So that's what we're doing today. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start by removing my glasses and putting on contacts. So to start the makeup portion, I'm first going to go in with Maybelline's Fit Me foundation. It is in shade 102, which is Fair Porcelain. It is the lightest shade that I could find at the time, but we will worry about that later. One thing I forgot to mention is that the makeup brushes I will be using today are just your typical run-of-the-mill makeup brushes, nothing fancy. This one is just a foundation brush that I got at Walmart, and I'm just taking that to apply the foundation to my face, and I will go back in with a beauty blender and blend that out. So the powder that I'm going to be using today is the Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder. This is the translucent extra coverage face powder. My mom actually showed me this powder and I've been obsessed with it for a couple of years now. It is amazing and it smells so good. Guys, I am notorious for running out of the foundation that is actually my shade, so translucent powder is my absolute best friend because it helps you to blend out any foundation that may be just a little bit too dark and get it to match your skin tone just that much better. I'm then going to take a fluffier powder brush just to dust off the excess powder. Moving on to eyeshadow, I'm going to dip into the Whiskey shade in my Naked Smoky palette. I like to dip into this one really lightly just so I can get a really light wash of it, because I do find doing that kind of makes for the ideal transition shade. Next, I'm going to take my B&H Cosmetics palette. This is the Take Me Back to Brazil Rio edition, so it's got a bunch of different shimmery shades, and I'm going to drop it. I'm just going to go in with this purple shade and add that to the outer third of my eyes. I don't know why I feel the need to turn my head to certain angles, but whatever, it helps the creative process. I'm now taking the shade right above the last one I used. It's more of a bluish purple. And ladies and gentlemen, if you ever want a reason to not watch other YouTube videos while you're filming, just take this video as an example. And I'm just taking that bluish purple shade and I am putting that to the outer V and in my crease. Moving along, I am using this neon orange shade, and I swear I've done this the entire time, you guys. I am spraying it with a Hard Candy long wear setting spray. I find that doing this just helps brighten the colors and make them last all day. To blend those and make sure that I don't have any harsh lines, I am going back with the original purple shade that I used and just kind of softening up the line between the orange and the original purple. Once I'm happy with how that is blended, I am using a flat angled brush and those same 3 eyeshadow shades, starting with the blue or purple one, and applying those to the bottom lash line. Look at you, girl, trying to figure out those angles. Now for my favorite part, which is highlighting the face. Both the original Take Me Back to Brazil and the Rio edition come with these 2 iridescent shades. I am using the more orangish tone for this look since I did use that orange eyeshadow. So to start off, I'm just going to highlight the inner corners, as you can now see since I'm no longer covering it with my palette, kind of. For contour, I'm using the Hard Candy Just Glow Highlighter Palette. This is the 1307 Rose Gold shade. I kind of find that this one is a little too dark. I've since lost it, so it doesn't get used that much. And since there is still a very defined line, I am taking that original powder brush and just kind of squeezing the bristles together in a few places to make it a little bit more dense, and then going back in with just a little bit of the leftover foundation that is still on the brush to help blend that out. I'm then dipping into that same highlighter shade from the Brazil palette with a small eyeshadow brush and using that to highlight my brow bone. To kind of more define my transition shade, I'm then going to use the shade Eclipse from my Interstellar palette from Blackheart. For eyeliner today, we're using Wet n Wild's H2O Proof in the shade Black Noir. It's got this little foam felt tip, which is amazing for doing wings. I'm going to start by lining the inner corner and work my way out. Then to create the wing, I'm going to line it up with the outside of my nostril, the opposite corner of my mouth, and the tail of my eyebrow. Believe it or not, this is double the speed I was originally going, if that tells you how careful I am with my eyeliner. Next up is mascara. We are using Wet n Wild's Mega Length Hydrofuge Mascara in the shade Very Black. This is a waterproof eyeliner because your girl has watery eyes. Whenever I wear contacts, for some reason, my eyes get irritated really easily. So most of my products are going to be waterproof, and for some reason, most of my products are also Wet n Wild. Not sponsored, if only. For lipstick, I'm taking NYX's Soft Matte Lip Cream in the shade Zurich. I find that this is a lovely, almost natural pink, but not quite. So the looks that it's kind of a little bit more bold, and I kind of want to focus more on the eyeshadow. This is always my go-to shade. And then setting my face with that same Hard Candy Longwear primer that I was using earlier for my eyeshadow. Okay, so this is a finished look. Like I said, it's really fun, really colorful, really love it. It's actually, I might have to use this concept a little more. Anyway, I hope you